How to use Harken Derm sunscreen. Now, before we start, you must know that Harken Derm sunscreen was created as a very high performance, all mineral sunscreen to last throughout the toughest conditions. This means that it was created for America's Cup sailors and people who are on the water all day, swimming, sweating all day, involved in intense activities, and the last thing on their mind is to reapply sunscreen. So they need something, you need something, maybe if you're watching this, that is better and that will actually last and keep you safe in the toughest conditions and for anything you want to do out on the water or on the slopes all day. And so it was also created to be the most that you could possibly get, and so you only have to use a very little bit, and this is a 100 milliliter tube. So that's the maximum size that you can take on the plane with you, and it lasts a very, very long time. You will be very surprised with how long it lasts. So before your first use, you will unscrew the cap. These are our UV indicator bands, and clearly the UV is very high right now. They're normally clear and then they turn deep blue with the deeper UV. And so we're gonna put some sunscreen on. So before the first use, unscrew the cap, and you'll see a silver foil on it. And so you'll want to remove this. And there you have it. And then you rescrew the cap from the back forward. And before first use, you'll only want to use a tiny, tiny little bit. So put just a tiny little dab on like that. And to seal it, you click in the middle and you wait for the click. It's an extra secure cap, so wait for the click. Or make it click and then it'll work. All right, so you'll see that just this tiny little bit spreads through more than my hand. So if you're applying it on the arm, for example, I'd say about this much. And we usually recommend to mix it a little bit in your fingers, like that, and then you can go ahead and apply it onto your arms. And you'll see, while it can be a little bit white in the beginning, it turns out to be totally clear. I could probably put more on, a little bit more on, but you can kind of see it a little bit, and so you know it's working. As long as you see it on your skin, you know that it's working, and it lasts a extraordinarily long amount of time. People are always so shocked, and check it out. Look at the family just moving along. And many people will misuse the sunscreen or use it according to the directions, which say to apply every 2 hours, because these are based on the lowest common denominator, which is chemical sunscreens that you do need to reapply every 2 hours. Harken Derm, it is very, very rare that anybody would need to reapply this. And we've never really heard of anybody saying that they've needed to reapply, because you'll always see it, you'll always have it on your skin at the end of the day, usually. So unless you're doing something super, super crazy and you're rubbing it off, and you feel like you need to reapply, then of course reapply. But in general, you shouldn't really need to reapply. So only use a little bit and you shouldn't need to reapply, which means that you'll use like 5 times less sunscreen, 10 times less sunscreen than other sunscreens. And it'll be safe, it's good for your skin, it has antioxidants, and it was created by the best dermatologist in the world, my mother. And she created it, and she's a skin cancer expert, a high-risk skin cancer expert, and she created it to slow or stop skin cancer, because all of these sailors all around the world have skin cancer, and it's the most common cancer in the United States, and it doesn't need to happen. And it's the most preventable cancer, yet it's the most common. So wear a safe sunscreen that actually works and that's good for your skin. If it's not Harken Derm, then choose another all-mineral sunscreen. And there you have it. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you later.